Hey, hey, hey! What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Child of Mecca live stream. I'm your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecca. Hi there. It's Wednesday. I get it. We didn't have a stream on Monday. Excuse me. Because I had to go to West Virginia for work yesterday. Had to shoot my first testimonials since March of 2020. So over a year and a half. I was very rusty at it. Very rusty at it. But just like riding a bike, you get that back very, very quickly. So, yeah. Anyway, so we're here. Hey. Now, next week is going to be busy for me too. There definitely will not be a stream on Monday. So just FYI. I've got two other testimonials. Well, I have one confirmed, one tentative testimonial lined up for next week. So, yeah, definitely Monday will not happen next week. It will not happen. Wednesday is kind of up in the air too right now. But confirmed Monday is not going to happen. So Monday I am in Tucson, Arizona, and then the next, depending on if I get confirmation or not, Austin, Texas. And before anybody chimes in, I'm not going to be in either one of them very long. So it's just, don't expect to meet up or anything like that because it ain't going to happen. I fly in to Tucson on Sunday evening, do the testimonial Monday morning, fly out Monday afternoon to hopefully Austin. Excuse me. Shoot Austin the next day, and then fly out back to BWI, Baltimore, later that evening. So from all the flights that I looked at, I get into BWI on Tuesday evening at like 1 a.m. So Timmy's gonna be tired come Wednesday. Timmy's gonna be real tired. Yeah. So, but it is what it is. Hopefully Wednesday will go off. And hopefully the tentative location, which is Austin, is cool with me filming on Tuesday. Because if they're not cool with that, then that just throws a fucking monkey wrench into everything, and it just kiboshes a lot of plans. So, just FYI, no stream on Monday, definitely. Tentative stream on Wednesday. So just keep all that in mind. Yeah. Anyway, Bill's with us. He says, testimonial, who is going to Gunpla jail this time? No, it's for my work. So Bill says, woohoo, get ready for the heat when you get to Austin. Yeah, but it's all dry heat down there. Like fucking Arizona. It's all dry. Like, I have no problems at all with dry heat. None. I'd rather it be 100 and dry than 85 and 100% humidity or like some crazy high number. That's comfortable to me. Dry heat is comfortable. Like, I remember going down to Satin Con in 2019, which is in Phoenix, and those Gundam guys that came out, they were complaining and like melting and everything, and I was just like, this is not bad. Like, come on. So, Bill says dry. It was like 70% humid today. Oh yeah, fuck that. Fuck that. Yeah, not looking forward to it. Then, thanks, Bill. Thank you for ruining the illusion. Jeez. Point two. So, guys, I know we've been having some internet demons going on here. So if the stream dies at any point, hang in there, stay with us. It'll probably reconnect in a minute or two. Just hang in there. It's all, you know. We only have another just next week is the last streaming week. But 2 weeks from today, I move. So, yeah. So we'll be in hopefully good shape after that. Fingers crossed, right? So yeah, those are the two big things at the beginning of the stream. I see Terry's with us, Mr. Gundam Yatham. Can't even say it. And then it just rolled up. Terry says, this is the first time in a while that I was able to see the countdown vid, and holy crap, there are so many t-shirts. Dude, Terry, that's just 2 of the sub-collections, dude. Like, there's so many more than that. Yeah. And Bill says, also mask it up, Texas, in the midst of... Yeah, oh, yeah. Dude, trust me, I know. I plan to go full on Snake Eyes while I'm out in Arizona and Texas. It ain't happening. Just I'm not fucking around. Fully vaccinated. I don't, but still. Yeehaw. Right? Anyway. Greg Blair says, that's a lot of time zone changes. Dude, right? It doesn't affect me that much, honestly. Time zone changes doesn't really affect me all that much. Like, even going to Japan, like, didn't faze me. So, Sam L says, also, just came in to say hi. They think I may have a kidney stone, and I just took a pain pill so I can actually sleep tonight. Damn, Sam. Feel better, buddy. That sucks. Kidney stones are not fun. I've never had a kidney stone, but I know from the people that have, they are not fun. Yeah, not fun at all. I hope you feel better. He says, my first one, I have been up since 4 a.m. because of the pain. Oh, yeah, no, that ain't. I'm not with that. Michael Dawson says, I sweat enough to fill all the oceans on Earth, even with 5% humidity. I will sleep better at night knowing that, Michael. Thank you. Greg Blair's with us. What's going on, Greg? He says, I was at the beach yesterday in OC, Maryland, with the girlfriend, and it was terribly hot. When it was like 5 degrees cooler on the boardwalk. Yeah. Dude, summer on the East Coast just isn't great, but it's better than summers down south. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Bill says, honestly, we have been getting enough storms coming through that you have a decent chance of temps being moderately bearable. That's still, the humidity is very high, which I'm not a fan of, but it is what it is. Yeah. Let's see. Greg says, Sam, yeah, I had one a few years ago. It will pass sooner than you think, and keep yourself full of water. Okay. Let's see. Spider2K2, Mr. James, he's with us. He says, what's up, everybody? BSing at work until 1 a.m. There you go. Patty Cakes is with us over there on YouTube. Out of curiosity, what do you do for a living? Does it involve the model business or involving Gunpla? No, sadly. I am a brand manager of a automotive consulting firm. So, yeah. It's not very glamorous. So, Julius says to Sam, I know that feeling. Been there. Mine came out real quickly within 8 hours. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't sound a lot of fun either. Nope. I will pass. Laser my shit if I have those. Just pew pew, laser it, gone, done. I'm not waiting for it to pass. If you don't know how they pass, go look it up. I'm not going to explain it to you. No, sir. here's a hint. It's like male pregnancy. Not fun. Or the male version of giving birth. No. Just thinking about it. I feel phantom pain. Thomas Staten says agreed. I don't know what we agreed upon, but if it's cool, I'm with you. Bill says make sure you get some brisket while in Texas. Yeah, if I have a chance, like if Austin confirms, like I think they should, my schedule is going to absolutely suck. Like I will be eating in airports probably more than anything. Yeah. Greg Blair says, yeah, way better than summers down south, but hey, we're in the armpit of America. I mean, it's not exactly the armpit of America. I wouldn't say that. Maryland and the Mideast is really cool. I like it here. Thomas Staten says, humidity is what makes the South unbearable in the summer. Yeah, no, that Thomas, yeah, we agree upon. Yeah. Patty Cake says, well, you're still my Gunpla hero, Tim. Aww. It's like that one a fucking animated gif of that dude going, aww, right? Watch now, somebody will clip that and I'll be the animated gif. Great. Bill says he is a professional hand model for Dawn. Bill, I don't know if you tuned in for the episode where we debuted the super zoom microscope thing, but I don't think so. These are not Palmolive hands. No, sir. Bill says, laser, you mean sonic bath? I mean, whatever it is. I've never had them before, so I don't know. Surgically remove my shit if that's what happens, because I'm not going to sit here and wait for him to pass. No. Hard pass on that. No. Sam L says, well, it's either a stone or my appendix. I have to pack a moving truck and drive 26 hours in 2 weeks. I hope it passes. Dude, you and me both. Shit, dude. John Lynn says, my sill has them chronically and oof. Okay. Julie says, just as painful was recovering from a double hernia surgery. Ooh. Yeah, no. No. Greg Blair says, hey, John Lynn, congrats on placing second on that build-off. Yeah. What build-off? Whoops. I missed it. Let's see. William Thompson says, hard no. Yeah, no. No. Oh, sister-in-law. Thank you, John Lynn, for explaining that to me. It would have been better if they were in capital letters, then I would have known it was an abbreviation. Just saying. Nightmare 440, what's going on, dude? He says, hey, Tim, how's it going, brother? Busy. Busy. Very, very busy. Bill says, sonic bath is like sitting in a tub as Mike Tyson in his prime starts punching your stomach repeatedly. I want to hope and I want to assume that it's better than the male version of giving birth. I may be drastically wrong, but that's my hope. Let's see. Michael Dawson says, I'm going to try and get my Delta done. Excuse me. Before I move, I got a lot of cleaning to do all over the house. Demons. John Lynn says, oh, that was the summer squad. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. I wasn't following it. Yeah. For the GBA, yeah. She says, I don't know grammar, Tim. I know you're not edumacated, John Lynn. You're up there in wherever. Connecticut? Maine? New Hampshire? Vermont? Rhode Island? Massachusetts? British Columbia? I don't know. She could be Canadian. I don't know. Anyway. All right, y'all. If you are interested in any of the tools and materials that we work with here on a nightly basis, check out the Amazon link below in the description. I do get a bit of a commission based on the stuff that you buy, but it does not increase the cost for you. It just goes to help support the stream and what we do here. Aside from that, if you didn't notice, we're rocking the Heat Hawk shirt tonight with the Zaku 2 on the sleeve. If you want to cop this shirt, man, go hit up www.childofmecca.com. Hit the store button up at the top. You will find this shirt and many more. Like Terry mentioned a little bit earlier, there are a ton of shirts to choose from, and a lot of hats too. You can find the Ace Pilot series. You can find the Mecca Decal Insignia series. Like I said, hats, prints of my work, all that good stuff. So go load up if you are in the market for any of that stuff. And then lastly, if you are interested in really showing your support for what we do here, man, hit up the Child of Mecca Patreon. I've been trying my best to keep up with it, but my God, I'm so freaking busy, like all the time now. It's not even funny. So if you have the ability and the inclination, go sign up for that and show your support. It would mean a ton. Outside of all that, if you're interested in kits, tools, paints, accessories, Mecca Decals, right down here, hit up our good friends USA Gundam Store. Adam and the fine crew down there will definitely have what you need. So, minor update on Mecca Decals. The Federation sheet is this close to being done in terms of designing. This close. This close. I've got a little bit to fill on the sheet, but I'm really liking it so far, and I think you guys will like it as well. You will definitely not want for Earth Federation, insignia and logos and stuff like that. Yeah. Michael Dawson says, I want my sheet 4. Dude, me too. Me too. I got to get an update on that because I don't exactly know where we are with that, unfortunately, as of right now. I know it was in Cartograph's hands, but with things going the way that they have been going, they're probably running slow. So I definitely need to check on that, and hopefully hopefully Sheet 4 will be out soon. Yeah. Bill says, "Damn Fetty, Xeons always getting the short end of the stick." No, dude. Bill, that one's next. That one's next. And we're gonna release them together. So you'll have there's no before the other. Okay, so yeah, the Xeon sheet will be incoming next. That's the next sheet that I will be designing. And obviously I'm going to take some visual cues off the Fetty sheet in terms of composition. So you guys will definitely have a wide variety of, different logos and decals and all that good stuff. So, yeah, it's good times. Now, keep in mind, these are general decals, general EF and Xeon decals. There will things that you will not see on these two sheets are pilot insignias, so no Amuro, no Char on these two sheets. These are general purpose logo insignia, not necessarily insignia, but logo and marking sheets, right? So a lot of, especially on the Fetty sheet, a lot of EFSF, in different compositions and layouts and things like that. A lot of the Fetty cross, a lot of the shield with the cross inside, all of that in different sizes and different colors and stuff. Yeah, these will be very general, but I think I think you guys will get some great benefit out of them, because there's not any of these out there. Um, it's just not. Nobody's doing it this way. So keep that in mind. As far as insignias like Amuro and Char and stuff like that, those will be for later sheets. We'll do, obviously like 1 Year War. We can do Zeta era. We can do Sentinels type stuff. We can do Titans Test Team. All sorts of fun stuff. We can even branch out outside of UC and do stuff, for say Wing, and Double O and all that jazz, right? I have some mean ass looking Wing designs from back in the day that I would love to release, as full on sheets. So expect that in the future, not the near future, but in the future. So yeah, the first Fetty and Xeon sheets will be general markings only. So keep that in mind. Yeah, that's the update as far as Mecca Decals go. And like I said, Michael, I don't have any updated information on Sheet 4 yet. I'm kind of as bummed as you are. So yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, all right, y'all. Let's get to working. Yeah. Now let's go over to camera 2. Joe says model number RGM GM. Yes, basically like that. There are going to be numbers on the Fetty sheet and also on the Xeon sheet. There will be numbers in different sizes and in different colors, white and gray. They'll be your kind of normal stencil military looking numbers, right? I'll show you here in a few seconds on what you can expect in terms of those numbers, but there will be numbers. There will be generic GM, RGM, and RX decals. Nothing specific, obviously, but because these are all general markings. Yeah, there will be some of that, Joe. Yeah. Yep. So, anywho, Michael says, I don't know about that, Tim. Shut up, Michael. Go move to Kentucky or wherever. George Jackson says, hey, Tim, did you get the pics I sent you? I did, George, but I haven't had a chance to look at them because I am just ungodly busy with the move and work and, I mean, literally everything. Yeah, literally everything. So it is what it is. Let's see here. Let me see if I can open them up here real quick. George sent a photo. Hey. Ooh, look at that. Nice looking perfect grade. I assume that's a perfect grade, right, George? A nice looking perfect grade Sharzaku. Very good. Very good. I likes it. I likes it a lot. Oh, shit. And I have one, a message from Dallas, too. Let me see here. How's the move going? Oh, shit. I had 2 messages in here that I didn't even know I had. Well, I knew I had George's, but I didn't know Dallas sent me another message. So, thanks, brother. How's the move going? Oh, dude, Dallas, if you're watching, the move is going as well as can be expected at this point. It is, like I said, it's busy as shit right now. Or at least I am busy as shit right now. George says it has your decals on it. Hey, you know what that is? You know what that means? Anyway, yeah, dude, George is looking good, man. It's looking real good. I like it. I like it a lot. Good stuff. Let's see. Brandon's with us. He says, glad I could finally get on. What's going on, dude? Kenneth is also with us. He says, evening, guys. What'd I miss? Not much. We're just talking, just doing updates and stuff like that, and shooting the shit. We're about to get to work. Yeah. So, anyway, let's go camera 2. Bada boom, bada bing. Here we go. All right, so let's zoom in. Boop. Now, if you remember correctly, we decaled the sub shield, right? And while it looked pretty decent, I wasn't real happy with it. I stripped it. And I'm gonna do something different with it. I just wasn't happy with the overall look of it after kind of really inspecting it and all that good stuff. I just was not happy with it. So I stripped it, reprimed it. Now I got to base it in secondary colors and all that, and then clear coat the thing. But that's kind of where the shield is. The more interesting things are gonna be, let's move this out the way. That right there and that right there. So the two fronts of the shoulder armor, right? So I think these are looking both really, really good. Let's get it more centered here for you. Really, really good. You know, I love the frog on the side of the EFSF there, and this right here. The numbers on this were actually numbers from decal sheets that I made and printed myself back in the day when I had my Alps up and running. I don't have it up and running anymore, so don't anybody ask. But these have been kind of in the box for years, and obviously they still work. So you know, I have those designs all saved on my computer and everything like that. So that's the look of the numbers that you can expect from the Fetty sheet, and I think I think it looks amazing. I think they're awesome looking. I love the font, and yeah, I think it looks really, really good. So that's what we're going with. Yeah. Let's see. Sperion says, if you haven't yet, take a moment to smash that like button and subscribe, and don't forget to set the notification button so you don't miss out on premiering shows. He says, I got you, kid. Jesus. Sperion's over here doing my marketing for me. That's awesome. I like it. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you. Yeah. But anywho, I think these are looking really, really good. Really good. George Jackson says, what do you do? Oh, what do you use? There's a weird space there between the S and the E in use. Use, it's the way it's spelled. What do you, Ito? I was just like, threw me off there for a second. But what do you use to make circles for masking? George, very good question. I use this little guy right here. This is kind of the secret weapon in terms of creating circular masks. Excuse me. And sorry, just making sure that we're still on, right? But this is the secret weapon in terms of creating circular masks and everything. You can basically just dial this in from damn near nothing to all the way there. Now, obviously, this is not going to be the full diameter of your circle. This is only going to be half of that because that's the center point, right? So you can go from making very, very tiny little circle to a very, very, very big circle, right? Which I love this. I love this thing, and I'm so glad I picked it up. I got this from Hobby Search, and this is, I believe it's by Platts. Yeah, it's by a company called Platts, P-L-A-T-Z, and it is, if anybody's looking, it's the Super Punch Compass Titanium Blade Special. right? Tiger drill. God. Remember when we used to do that? Whew. Tiger drill's all packed up. It ain't doing any drilling right now. Trust me. But yeah, this is the guy that I use. Really, really good stuff. They say 1.5 millimeter minimum diameter. I believe it. So very, very good pickup if you're in the market for something like that. There are other brands, I think. I know Olfa sells something similar domestically, but it does not go down to that tight a tolerance. I forget what the what the minimum diameter is, but it's not anywhere near the Platts. I want to say it's like 1/4 inch in diameter, which, if I remember correctly, is like 6 millimeters in diameter. I could be wrong. I don't know. Anyway, but if you don't need anything smaller than that, then the Olfa is probably a decent pickup. So, yeah. Brandon says, if you don't have or can't not find a circle cutter, I think that's a double negative, Brandon. Like that, you can use brass or aluminum hobby tubes to punch out circles on taps. Actually, another good little pickup if you're in the market for it is just a little one of these little leather punches, right? This right here, and I gotta put my hand here to that right there is what, 2 millimeter, I believe. Let's measure it and find out. Yeah, that's 2 millimeters in diameter, and they have bigger, and I've got a whole bunch of these guys here, and you can get these in all sorts of different sizes and stuff like that. But basically, these are leather punches, and they're made to punch. The biggest thing that you use is to punch holes in belts, right? But I use it to cut, teeny tiny little circles for masking and stuff, and they work really, really well. If you look at this piece of tape right here, you can see the little itty bitty circles that I punched out there using this guy. And yeah, it works tremendously well. So between the Platts and the hole punch, your circle cutting, masking, all that should be pretty much covered. So I haven't run into a situation where I haven't been able to attain my masking goals, without these two. So yeah, these are the good ones. So and I'm realizing I should have hit the "we have a question" button. God damn it. Oh well, next time. Cheers. All right. Kenneth says Olfa are overpriced. I don't know. Some Olfa is really, really good. Their hobby knives are great. And their utility knives are really good too. Yeah. Michael Dawson says, I just bought circle pre-cut masking tape to solve that problem for me. Yeah. I mean, that's one way of doing it, right? Me, I'd rather cut my own. Anywho. All right, let's get to decaling, yeah? Now, shit. My little basin of water is lacking, so I need to go refill this here real quick. So stay right there. Don't you move. I will be back in just a second. Stay there. here we go. Now we're in business. We've got our little cup of water, and we've got our finished and clear-coated parts off to the side. And we've got a wide variety of decals and markings and colors and all that stuff. So we're in really good shape at this point. So let's get some decals on this thing, yeah. Now, let's go back to this guy here. Now, this is obviously the calf armor, right? And as you can see, I put a little circular decal around that thing, and man, if that doesn't look really, really freaking good, right? And then just a little piece of text down there, just above the sub panel. So we've got to mirror this on the three other calf pieces here. Now, before we get into that, I do want to add something back here on the back, right there, the gray part. But other than that, this is going to be a pretty much a very, very simplistic looking piece. Not too crazy. Yeah, not too crazy. Let's see. Brandon says, Alpha Hobby Knife, $5.99 local Lowe's home improvement store in case anyone is looking for one. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're great at that point, yeah. Let's see. Julia says, wait, what are decals? I thought they were called decals, right? Goalie Zero, Mr. Carl, he's over there on Twitch. He says, looking crispy, man. Thank you, Carl. Appreciate you. Michael Dawson says, show us a preview of the EFSF decals. Pretty super duper with extra whipped cream and extra sprinkles on top. Michael, I'm sorry, but the image, well, actually the artwork is on the other computer, and I don't have access to it on this one. Sorry. Sorry, Chatty. MJO? Anyway, he says, what can you do to get rid of residue from moving the decals around off the piece? Normally you don't have much residue on there, but I think what I'm assuming MJO or MJO, however you say that, is talking about that little bit right there, right? And it's only visible like when you get the highlight on it, right? Like, so when you are at like a normal viewing angle like this, which is most of the time, it's extremely hard to see. Now, what I will say is once you clear coat over this, that will more than likely disappear with the gloss, right? Because this right here is actually decal micro sol, right? Micro sol. This is a softener. This is different from the micro set. This is a setting solution, which essentially is glue for your water slide decals. Where micro sol is for softening and conforming decals to difficult curves and angles and stuff like that. If you have a decal going across a panel line, you're going to want to use micro set or a setting solution to set the decal in place and make sure it doesn't move on you. Once that's dry, you go back, hit it with a very sharp hobby knife across that panel line, and then you use the micro sol to soften that and make that lay down into the panel lines. But getting back to MJO's question, how do you get rid of that? And actually,
we have a question.
I keep forgetting to hit that. This will disappear. If it doesn't disappear during the gloss, the gloss coat, when I shoot this over the decals, it'll definitely disappear when we go to use the final semi-gloss, more kind of like a flat, right? That'll go away because it really is. It looks so much worse on camera. Like, it looks like a giant blot of just goo there, right? But if you're looking at it just from your naked eye, you can't even hardly see it. So, and I've tried to get that off, but for some reason it's a little stubborn. It's a little stubborn. So I'm not gonna really deal with it outside of what I've already done because I don't want to ruin this paint. Yeah, and the flat final coat, it'll get rid of it. You won't see it. So, yeah. The best thing to do, and I didn't do this, the best thing to do is blot up any excess moisture from the decal solvent. I didn't do that. My dumbass was sitting here one day this past weekend doing this, and I put the decal solvent on there, and I also put it on the shield. That's another reason, which I wasn't going to mention, but that's another reason why I stripped the shield, because it was way worse on the shield, and you could notice it. This is trivial. But the best thing to do is blot up that excess moisture from that, and then just let it sit underneath the decal or over top of the decal and let that soften and go to work. But I didn't do that because the weekend was crazy for me. I sat here, put some decal sol on, got called away, came back the next day, and I'm like, oh shit, that's not good. So, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Thomas Satin says, so that's the same thing as Mark Setter and softer. Yes, that is Thomas. So there's a bunch of different companies out there. What is it? Mr. Hobby, Mark Setter, and Mark Softer are basically the same thing as these. I like micro scale for these particular decal liquids way better than anything else. These are that very, very fine line between being too harsh and not aggressive enough, right? The micro set is amazing, and like you guys have seen, right? And I wish I could have shown you guys. I wish I would have done it on camera, but I didn't. On the shield, if you remember, we put the EFSF logo and everything on there, and those were cheap Chinese decals, and they were absolute garbage, right? But I used micro set on them. Some of the smaller little decals, the panel bolt release and stuff like that, I didn't, because they were, I wasn't having a lot of luck with them because of curling and stuff like that. So I just said, fuck it, I'm just straight water, bada boom, bada bing, we're done. And they stuck really, really well. Like Cartograph's adhesive, whatever they use on their sheets, is great. It's really good. Really good. So technically you don't even need micro set for Mecca Decals and anything printed by Cartograph. But this is the kicker. So I go to strip the piece, and I was going to try and salvage it. I was going to let it soak in water and try to ease off the decals and everything. Well, the ones that I put on with just straight water came off no problem. The ones that I used for with micro set would not budge. And so I'm like, all right, well, no big deal. This is a simple piece. I can mask it in 2 minutes, spray it, be done with it, right? So I dropped it in alcohol and let it sit there for a few minutes. Go back, take my little toothbrush and try to clean it off. I shit you not, guys. Decals that I used microset on would hardly budge, would not budge. That cheap Chinese-made EFSF decal was the last thing to come off, and that was the hardest thing to come off. It would not budge. I actually had to scrape it off with a freaking hobby knife, and then I had to go back and wet sand the shield so it was completely smooth. Like, this is good shit. I'm not bullshitting you. This is good stuff. And this is equally as good because, like I said, they both are, while it rolls away, they both are on that fine line between being too aggressive and not aggressive enough. They're right in the middle. It's that Goldilocks zone. And Microscale Industries have knocked it out of the park with these, and I will never, ever use anything but Microset and Microsol for my decals. So there you go. Brandon's got a question for us.
We have a question.
He says, do they make a satin clear coat? I have only been able to find matte gloss and semi-gloss. Semi-gloss is pretty close, Brandon. Semi-gloss is really close. Because that's what I use for my final clear coat is semi-gloss. But what I do is I hold my airbrush back a little farther than what I would normally would, so that the atomized particles of clear coat start to dry and cure midair, and then once they hit that surface, it creates a really nice kind of flat coat, but with a sheen. And if you see, you know, obviously if you guys have seen airdrop, that's what it looks like. And that's what it should look like, because these things are gigantic. And if you've ever seen a ship, you know, like a military ship up close, it's super flat. Like, there's no reflection. But if you go back like a mile away and look at it, you're gonna see a sheen on that paint. And that's what I'm able to achieve, you know, with semi-gloss, but pulling back the airbrush just a little bit. Just a little trick. So, Wilson Alanea, what's up, Wilson? He's with us over there on YouTube. He says the gloss coat will even the decal film. That is why there is a gloss decal gloss method. Yeah, and that's kind of what I use. I hit the decals with, like after I'm done decaling, I'll hit them with gloss clear coat again, just to kind of seal them in a little bit more, and to even out those edges just a little bit more, and it makes them just disappear. They're really good. Patty Cake says, yeah, Thomas, but I feel Microset and Sol are better. They absolutely are, in my opinion. Thomas says, okay. Wilson says, after the gloss decal gloss, apply whatever top coat you want. Yeah, exactly. The other reason why I do kind of that method that Wilson is talking about, the gloss decal gloss method, is because of my method of, God, I dare say it's weathering, because I don't think it's even in the same category as weathering. It's more just griming. Maybe I should, you know, key that phrase, griming. It's griming. I like that. It's not weathering, it's griming. I like it. Anyway, when I start to grime up my, you know, my mobile suit, I actually like to do it on a gloss surface, because the tonal gradation from the Tamiya weathering powders that I use is, it just makes it just buttery smooth and nice, and I just love the way that it looks. And again, if you've seen airdrop, that's what it looks like. And then once I'm done with that, I shoot it with that semi-gloss, you know, held back a little bit, and it just creates a good look, in my opinion. So, yeah. Brandon says, makes sense. He says, I was almost thinking of mixing a few drops of semi-gloss with flat to get a touch of shine. Yeah, dude, just pull back just a little bit. Just a little bit, and you're good. Yeah. No, William, no. It's a new follower. I love that name, by the way. Welcome to the family. You get one of these. Hey. No, William, no. So good. Kenneth says, just avoid putting decals on a matte surface. Yeah, 100%. Don't do that. That's you're asking for trouble. Don't do that. Wilson says, airline plane is opposite. They are gloss close up, then flat if you look far. Yeah, because those are real, like, shitty stickers, basically. I mean, they're industrial strength, like, stickers, pretty much. If you were to look at the 1-to-1 Gundam in Odaiba, if you're lucky enough to have a chance to view it in person, or if you have ever seen really close-up photos of it, I know I have some really close-up photos of the original Gundam. You'll see the warning marks are actually just decals. And not like water slides, but I'm talking like fucking stickers. Industrial strength stickers, but stickers nonetheless. Which is a far cry different from your real military markings. Those are painted on and stenciled on. Yeah, fun fact. No William Knows over there on Twitch giving us a laughing emoji. Nice. Welcome. MJO says, MJO, I don't know. Oh.
We have a question.
It's a question. What do you do to get a smooth gloss? Sometimes the overspray makes some areas more semi. Yeah, and Wilson had commented wet coating. Yes, we'll talk about that. Airbrushing close, but not too close. Yep. Brandon says lots of surface prep, wet sand between top layer coats and multiple layers. Yeah, all of that. Getting a high gloss, and I'm talking like mirror finish almost, is pretty difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. Number one, before any primer goes down, when you're working with bare plastic, sand that thing, wet sand that thing to, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, whatever. Get that plastic nice and smooth, right? After that, you want to lay down your primer. If you're using something like, like a 1,000 or something like that, like from Mr. Hobby, then you also want to very gently wet coat that. Follow that up with a finish primer, Mr. Surfacer 1500, something like that. And then your paints. Make sure your paint is very, very smooth. Use a leveling agent like Mr. Leveling Thinner. Once that's all done, you may want to hit that with a very, very light wet sanding too to just kind of smooth and even everything out. And then, like Wilson was saying, what's called wet coating, right? Achieving a gloss coat, again, you want to kind of mist it at first, and then real quick right after that, go a heavy wet coat on it, but not too heavy. Not that it's dripping or anything. The best way that I've found to achieve that perfect wet coat is to spray a little on the heavy side, and you're going to see the clear coat material start to kind of almost coagulate and start to combine and everything. And as soon as you start to see most of that clear coat come together, stop. That's when you know you're good. Any more, you're going to have too much product on that piece. Any less, fuck it, you're done. But that's that perfect Goldilocks zone that I was talking about earlier, that it's all going to come together, and that surfacer or that leveling thinner will make that perfect, and you'll get a really, really nice high shine from that. Once you get that, that's going to be your basis. Then you can go back and start to polish that shit out. Now, two trains of thought from this. You can wet sand that, you know, with something high like a 3000 grit or something like that, and then do another wet coat on top of that, that'll get you real close to almost mirror. But there's another school of thought that you could just use polishing compounds. Tamiya has a great polishing compound set. There are 3 levels. There's, they call it coarse, but it's not really that coarse. Fine, and then super fine, and you just run through that that set, and honestly, by the time you get to the last of those polishing compounds, man, you're gonna be at a very, very high shine on that thing. But yeah, a really nice gloss coat takes some work. It takes some work. So just keep that in mind. The foundation of it all is surface prep. That's the foundation of it all. Yeah. Let's see. Michael Dawson's got a question.
We have a question.
Panel line first or decal first? I prefer panel line first. Just to get it out of the way, while that clear coat is nice and fresh. And then also too, so that I'm not fucking up any of the decals later with an enamel based, you know, paint or panel lining fluid. Yeah, I'd rather put that on the model first, because it's a quick process. It's a very, very quick process. Apply the panel line, clean the panel line, let it dry, bada boom, bada bing. Then you're on to decals, which is a very much more time intensive step, right? So I would rather, again, put the panel lining fluid on first and, you know, see how that all works out, than waste all my time and potentially damage a decal. That would suck, right? So, yeah. Me personally, panel line first, then decal after that. Yeah. MJO says, just enough to get a consistent gloss for decals. Yeah. Brandon says, panel line, then decals. Yeah. Ty Furious says, Tim has a workflow PDF on his website. I do. Yes. If you guys are not familiar with that, I do have my workflow in PDF format. Mecca.com if you're interested in it. I know some people have printed it out and framed it and shit. I know one gentleman in Dubai bought a print of it and had me sign it when I went over there last year, which was that was really cool. I'm not gonna lie, that was really, really cool. But yeah, it's free to download. Have at it. If you want to modify it, modify it. But that's just what I do. So yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's get to work. We're an hour in. We got an hour left. Let's go. All right. So let's go back and revisit the calf armor here. Yeah. So we'll do the same thing to one of the other sides. I'm not going to do everything right now because that's just I'm not going to do that. But we'll do at least one, and I'll show you kind of the workflow and all that for that. Yeah. Now, what I've been doing is I've been using a combination of 1/100 and 1/44 sized Mecca Decals, right? So for this little circular bit there, I'm actually using sheet 2 in 1/44 here. And I know that's damn near impossible. It's a little bit better now with the contrast adjusted and the highlights and everything. But I know the white on this light blue paper is a little tricky to see, especially on camera. But you can kind of see it there. There you go. And these little guys right here, these little circles, those are what we're going to be using. So, with that being said, let's get one cut out here. And these are a little tight in 1/44, so I'm going to lean in here and just make sure we don't damage anything. All right, so there's the cutout decal right there for the circle, and again, I know it's hard to see. But this is what we do for those of you that missed it. Just dip that in here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoops. No big deal. Grab that. Kind of drip dry it there a little bit. And then we'll just, we got the little plastic lid here. We'll just let that sit. And that water that is on the surface of that decal is way plenty for that to help release from the backing paper, right? So we're just going to let that sit a little bit, and then while we're waiting for that, let's get the other decal that we need. And what sheet was that on? Was that on 1? No, it might have been on 3. Let's see. Or was that a 144 that I cut out? Oh, no, there it is. I think that's it. Let me see. Yeah, that's the one. All right, so this is, again, sheet 2, but this is 1/100 scale. So let's get this little guy right here. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drip dry it, and then let it sit for a few seconds, yeah? Now, hopefully we should be in good enough shape to lift the circular decal off of here. Let's see. Yep, okay, so that's excellent. Now, the orientation of it all. Rotation, okay. So, right there in camera, perfect. And what I'll do is I'll just slide this over, grab that with the tweezers. Actually, I'm gonna do it a little bit differently with this one, right? I'm gonna kind of go old school with the way that I get this off the sheet, right? So we're gonna line this up in the orientation that I want it, and I am actually going to slide this off like a conventional water slide decal, believe it or not. Just like that. Okay. There it is. All right, so now that that's on there, I am going to get this aligned here. Just kind of trying to spin that around. There we go. That, it's looking pretty good right there. Looking pretty good. I like it. Okay, so it's not exactly centered on that circle though. So we need to get that properly in place. And one thing that I've found works really, really well is, you know, if you have a pair of visors, use those to the best of their ability, but also take them off and then just look at them, you know, look at the decal, make sure it's aligned, make sure it just looks right, you know, because even though you may be dead center with something, if it doesn't visually look right, it's not going to look right to anybody else, right? So with that, I am going to inspect it, you know, with the visors on. then I'm going to look at it with the visors off too. Now, if for some reason it starts to dry out and all that, all you got to do is take a little brush, dip it in some water, just kind of rehydrate this thing, and that will make it movable once again. Real easy. Look what we got. No, William, no! Thank you for the sub. Appreciate you, buddy. Hey, you get another one of these. I just love the name. No, William, no! I have this stupid mental picture. Anyway. So yeah, so this is looking really good. It looks damn near center enough for me. So we're going to grab our little makeup foam wedges that we cut up here, and we're going to blot this dry. Ooh, and it looks like it might have shifted. Ah, it did. It did. All right, no big deal. Oh, there we go. Look at this. He says your decals are the best on the market. 1,000 bits. Thank you, buddy. Shit, that's awesome. Appreciate you. Come on, load the button, damn it. Because of that, you get one of these. Or one of these. Hey. Thank you. No, William, no. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Brandon says, over here on YouTube, he says, anyone here have an Oculus Quest 2? I just ordered one. I do not. All right, so I just loaded this up again with water, and we're going to get back to it. But it's one of the challenging things with a decal like this is that it can, and oftentimes will, shift on you. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to try and get my brush under this and really, really get a solid release from the part itself. There we go. Now we should be in really, really good shape. Yep. All right. It completely released from the part itself. So now all right. So we're going to go tackle this again a little bit more tactfully. All right. I'm going to start off by drawing one side, which was the bottom side there you saw, and then go back and do the whole kit and caboodle. Whole damn thing, right? So there we go. Nice and centered. Looking really good. The opening for this circular detail is just a little bit bigger, just a hair bigger than the inside diameter of the decal itself. So the image, the artwork of the decal doesn't get obscured, but the film overlays and hangs over that opening just a bit. So that's why we have to use the micro saw to soften that up, and then that will start to conform and lay down into that circular opening. But this needs to dry first, because if we apply micro saw to this right now with it still being wet, it'll just release and it'll float away basically. So we'll have to tackle that when it's completely dry. So, but that's looking quite nice. I'm gonna really. I already like that look, but I think I'm really gonna like it once everything is clear coated and looking really nice. All right, so the second decal here, just a simple bit of text, little piece of text here, just above this little sub panel right now. It's about a millimeter up from the panel line, so we need to make sure that this is in the proper location here. And if you're trying to mirror decals like this, you want to look at your original piece, which is this one, a lot to make sure that everything looks good. And that looks really nice. So we're going to go ahead and just blot that out. Make sure all the moisture is squeezed out from underneath that decal as possible. And just kind of smooth that out a little bit. Now, that's still very fragile. That decal is still very, very fragile because it's still, there's still a level of moisture there that is not, it's not dry yet, right? So we need to absolutely let that dry before we hit it with anything else. So, let's see. George has a question for us. Okay.
We have a question.
Whew. George wants to know, my son broke his V-fin on his Gundam. Does anyone know of a video or how to scratch build another part? Michael Dawson says, Gunpla Lab has a video on that. Brandon says, does he have both pieces? If so, to me, extra thin, plastic magic, even super glue. He says, if you are set on scratch building a part, go through some of Tim's old streams to learn how. George says, no, the tip is gone, can't find it. Yeah, so kind of SOL at that point. But Brandon says, you will need to buy some styrene sheet or strip. Evergreen or Plastra can be found at most hobby stores, which is true, which is very, very true. Another alternative to that, though, you know, George, you can always post online and see if anybody has an extra one for you. You know, you'd be. All right. So it looks like we're back. Or at least that's what it says on Streamlabs. Fingers crossed, right? George says he is going to be so mad. Dude, you know, it's fucking annoying. It really is. We almost went the entire stream without one of these. Right? Almost went the entire stream, but fuck. Anyway. Where was I? But I was saying to George, if you really did want to get into scratch building and everything, then Brandon has an excellent point. Either Evergreen or Plastruct, the stock styrene forms and stuff like that can be found at most local hobby stores. If not, you can easily buy, I know Evergreen online, their online store is wonderful. I've bought from them many times before, and those folks are great. They're great. Fast shipping. I've never had a bad experience with Evergreen, and that would be my particular choice of stock plastic. Plastruck is a little bit more expensive, and they cater more toward the kind of model railroad and architectural style modelers. But you know, so if you need something really kind of weird, like a shape or something like that, then Plastruck's the way to go. But for general purposes, I like Evergreen way better. Anyway, you're probably going to have to do a little sculpting with that because you're not going to find a perfect kind of tapered shape like the V-fin. So you're definitely going to have to do a little bit of sculpting with that on, with your hobby knife or something like that, or some files and things. But they have plastic beams and things like that, that you can buy real cheap, and yeah, that'd be the way to go. So hopefully, I know that was long-winded, especially with our little break. Hopefully that answers your question. So anyway. Evidently I had a perfect face when we had our little break here just a few seconds ago, because Michael Dawson says that face is perfect. Hopefully somebody screenshot it. Anyway. Day, look at this. Don Zwergo's with us. What's going on, Don? He says, good morning, guys. I know I can't be here at the moment because of my new job. Aw, dude, we miss you, buddy. We miss you. Brandon says, what model is it? He says, I will look through my bin of parts. If I have one, it's yours. See? Mecha Army. That's what we do. I love it. I love it. Anyway. All right. Moving on. So, let's have some fun, yeah? Let's go with this, the back skirt. Okay? We're going to do some fun stuff with this one. Of course, we're going to be using a frog. Where's the 140? Excuse me, 144. Sheet 3. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. Cool. All right. So, and of course, you guys can't see the decals because of the contrast, but we're gonna cut the frog out here. We're gonna use him. And we're going to make this look fun and funky. Okay. And before I make any more cuts, I'm going to put this on so I can actually see what the hell I'm doing here. Here we go. Now we have a little 144 sized frog insignia. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that out. Pop it on the plastic lid there to let it separate. Now we're going to put this off to the side. Now I'm going to dig into my bag of decals here. Let's see. Now, if you guys remember me talking about it, I used to have a wonderful little Alps machine, little Alps printer that was just fucking amazing and so nice to have. And I have literally stacks of decals that I printed out. Most of these are errored sheets, but a lot of the decals on those sheets are, in fact, still usable, which is nice. But finding the right decal obviously can be somewhat challenging, right? So what I'm looking for ideally is a small EF logo that we can use on the back skirt here, right? Now, the sizing of it is the most important thing to me right now. The size needs to be accurate and close to the size of the frog decal, which is the challenge right now, right? Wilson wants to know what happened to the Alps. The Alps is in storage at this point, Wilson. Number one, I can't find ink for it to save my life. And I mean quality ink, not the shit ink that, you know, you see on like eBay and stuff like that. That's crap. Ooh, I think we have a winner. Winner, chicken dinner. No, I mean like the quality ink. And I don't want to get raped over the price of the ink either, because I've seen like the original ink cartridges for the Alps go for like $30-$40 each. Nah, that's not me, son. Inhibit Progress 18, new follower. What's going on? Thank you. Welcome to the Mecha Army. You get one of these. Hey. Wilson says, so they stopped producing the toners. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm pretty sure that they did. And if they didn't, they're not readily available in the U.S. or anywhere that I can find them. So, yeah, it's in storage, and it only ran officially on Windows XP. There are makeshift drivers floating around there that will make it work on Windows 8 and 10, but it's just like, why bother? I have a source of a guy up in Canada who can print really nice custom decals if I needed them, so I would just go to him. It doesn't seem worth it at this point to try and hunt down toner cartridges for Alps. Back in the day, when there wasn't anybody that did customs and stuff readily, God, it was, yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. But now it's just like, nah. Kenneth says they stopped producing the ink as far as I know. Some leftover stocks going for hundreds of dollars online. Yeah, dude, it's just, yeah. No, William, no. I'm sorry. The fucking name is funny, dude. Like, for real. He said, but he says,
we have a question.
How much would that guy charge to print a custom sheet of decals? It depends. Here, let me get the URL of the gentleman. Evidently, he's very, very popular in the model railroading circles. And because I've when I kind of did my research on this guy, you put in his name, and model railroading forums just the fucking search engine just lights up with him, right? And I know a couple people that I have pointed to him, I should say, have had great success with his decals. But obviously it depends on the size of the sheet that you want, the complexity, etc., etc. If you want him to set up the artwork, or if you want to set up the artwork as well, there's a difference in price too. But let me get the link, and I will post it. I'll post it in the chat for everybody. Okay. Let me see. Where is it? Bingo, right here. Here we go. Yeah, okay. So, what's this gentleman's? I forget the gentleman's name. But he is evident, like I said, he is very popular in the model railroading circles. All right. So, but yeah, he's located up in Canada. Don't hold that against him. All right, coming in the chat. God, that sounded bad. Incoming to the chat, yeah? So there you go. Hopefully that transferred over. Let me pull up Twitch here real quick and make sure. Where is it? Imported Twitch. Yeah, for some reason I didn't have a window open. Awesome, appreciate the link. Yeah, you're welcome, dude. You're welcome. But like I said, that gentleman prints with the limited correspondence I had with him when I first researched him. He had explained to me that the printer that he uses is like a $20,000 commercial Epson printer. It's a CMYKW printer, which means cyan, yellow, magenta, black, and white, which is the special W. Most consumer grade printers can only do CMYK. That's why, you know, you're not going to print out white decals very readily. They do make white laser toner, but that's a pretty expensive. I've looked it up and it's pretty expensive. A couple $100 for one cartridge is not economical. So this particular gentleman has a very, very pricey printer, and yeah, does good work. Does really, really good work. So yeah. Wilson says, so now it's a collector's item. Dude, right? I actually still have it. I don't want to get rid of it. Like, the Alps does kind of hold a special place in my heart. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's stupid, but it's sentimental. Because, like, when I used to print and sell decals to people back, you know, in the mid-2000s, like, I met so many people from that, like, that are still my friends even to this day. Like, old school Gunpla modelers. And it was great. I sent decals all around the world, and it was just... That was a special time. And, yeah, it's a sentimental value now. So... Shit, I might put it out on a shelf or something and display it. It's kind of fun, and it's a cool design too. Like, the industrial design of the Alps was really kind of ahead of its time. It was a jet black printer with an orange, just this bright orange print tray out the back, and it was just funky looking. I loved it. So yeah. George says, what ink do you need for the Alps? It's a special ribbon heat transfer ink, George. It's specifically made for Alps printers. Mine specifically is an MD 1300. It's very old, out of production. Trust me, lost cause trying to find the ribbons for that. So, Wilson says, does the guy print with pre-cut film? I don't believe so, because I mean all of his are custom. So I think he prints on just generic water slide decal paper, which that's all I used back in the day. No big deal. But yeah, he says, George says, I think my cousin might have a few he can spare, just need to ask. George, really? Don't bother, man. Because honestly, number one, I probably couldn't even run the software, and then number two, printing those off and everything, just it's not worth it. Just not worth it. So I appreciate the offer, but I wouldn't bother. So. No William No says, awesome, appreciate the link. You're welcome, man. Ken says, speaking of railroad model, any progress for that vertical chopper tool? Not really. I know the guys were, had some designs and everything, especially Don, but nah, not really. Hi Craig, Mr. Colin, he's with us. He says, evening everybody. What's up? What's going on, dude? Brandon says, we had an Epson industrial style CMYKW printer come through my work a while ago. We drop shipped it to a guy in Cali, $30,000. Yeah, it's about as much as a new car. Yeah, they're not cheap. Wilson says, whew, I'm not alone. Yeah, dude, no, I mean, pre-cut, you're gonna need like industrial gear and tools to do pre-cut. It's not gonna be easy. It's so much easier just to print on just generic water slide transfer paper. It's just, yeah, it's not even worth it. Not even worth it. Anyway, let's get to placing this thing, because this froggy is like sitting here in the water like, come on, man, stop fucking around. All right. So, let's make sure that's clean, and we're going to pop the frog right there, and we want to make sure that he is in the correct orientation. Now, the challenge, the big challenge with these circular style decals is to make sure that they're aligned. And the way that I do it is I look at least for the frog, the flat bottom of the ground and everything, and I try to make that parallel with like a panel line or something like that. So let me see here real quick. And one of the other easy ways that I've found is to turn it this way and see if these two are parallel to one another. Yeah. All right. Just eyeballing that, it looks a little low on this side here. Just rotate that just ever so slightly, right? Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that. I'm happy with that. All right. Right down on it so it hardly shifts. Hopefully doesn't shift at all. Wipe it clean, and there she is. God, I love the look of white decals on a dark colored paint. It's just, I don't know. It's just something nice. Just something nice about the look of it. Anyway, Don says, nope, sorry, my license on Fusion 360 is broken at the moment and need to fix it, and then I can finish the chopper. Don, seriously, no hurry, man. It's seriously, no hurry, no pressure, none of it. Just at your leisure, buddy. At your leisure. We're all dealing with shit right now, to be honest with you. Sigzion's with us over there on YouTube. He says, I'm going to be building the perfect grade unicorn and using the unicorn LED set. Just wondering what I'm in for. Any helpful tips? Now, I've never messed around with LEDs before, kids. So, sorry, Sigzion, but I'm like the worst one to ask for that. Hopefully somebody in the chat will be able to assist better than I could, right? Don says, install the LEDs directly. There we go. He says the LED in the arms can be tricky, just chill, and will work. Same for the wires on the back. There you go. Brandon says, looks like Anycubit is having a big sale if anyone is looking for a 3D printer for cheap. Oof. It's so tempting, you guys, but right now, sucks. Because I can't buy anything. Because I need money to put down on the fucking house. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and then this shit's done. 2 weeks. Then we can really get to work, you know? Then we can really get to it. Start pounding out some good content and stuff, right? Hopefully. All right. So I've got one of my old. This is my old print sheet from the Gundam Verka, right? And you can kind of see the white decals and stuff there. Now, what I was thinking was using one of these EF logos right there, but I think that might be too wide. Yeah, it's definitely going to be too wide for that. So we're going to have to go a little smaller. And I think, now, maybe one of these guys down here will be good cannon fodder for that. But it's getting one that looks good. That's a nice clean print. There we go. There we go. This is the one. I found it. So, obviously, since these were printed on the Alps, this is a, just a one sheet decal film. So you have to cut it out by yourself, by hand. You have to be very careful when doing it, because I didn't know the concept of fucking spacing when I was doing this on my own before. Alright. So there's that. Let's get that right there. Put that off to the side. Now, we have to trim this down so that it's just the EF logo, right? So, god damn. Why did I pack my 1, 2, 3 blocks? Shit. Yeah, fuck it. We'll wing it. Alright. So, what we'll do is bring in the acrylic piece here, because I'm going to have to make some really kind of accurate cuts with this to get this down to where I need it, right? So we're going to move the water off to the side so I don't accidentally knock that over. And, alright, so let's see here. Now, I'm going to have to bend down real close. And let's get this higher up on the thing here. Alright, so let's get this turned around first. Let's cut. Alright, hang on. We're going to do some relief cuts here on the sheet first. Meaning that I'm not going to cut it all the way through the first pass. I'm just going to score the film and then cut all the way through, because I don't want the edges to crinkle up when I'm cutting it. Okay, that looks pretty good. That did most of the work that we need done right there. So now I can just press the knife in, and that'll leave a nice crisp edge that we cut. We're going to do that on all sides here, but I need to see exactly what the hell I'm doing. Okay, that's good there. Now the bottom long edge here. This is going to be the trickiest because the surface area is much smaller now. There we go. Cool. All right. So that little decal right there. Yeah, that's what we're working with. So now we'll get the shards of paper off to the side here, and we'll get the water back in here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drip dry that. Set that off to the plastic, and we will kind of move right along with decal placement and everything. Excuse me. Let's see. Wyland Couch. Wyland, I am going to seriously butcher your last name, or the second part of your name, so I apologize. Wyland Kalchari. I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome. Hi there. He says hello. Wilson says, yes, right now. Yeah. Buy now, regret later. Dude, if my fucking financing falls through on buying a 3D printer, I would be really pissed. No. Brandon says, been there, Tim. Still recovering from my home purchase. Dude, right? Pab says, well, hello. Hello! Oh, man. Don says, hey, Pabs. All right, time for work. Bye, guys. See you, Don. Take care, buddy. Mike Dawson says, scrap decal in 3, 2, 1. Nope. Hey, whoa. Hey. Hoss 0312. What up? Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. You get money. Welcome to the Mecha Army. All right. So, let's see if our hand-cut decal... Yep, it is ready. Now, we're going to keep this on the backing for just a few seconds. Actually, I'm going to transfer this to another, there we go, another piece that still has a little bit of water on it. For these particular decals that I printed myself, I am going to use some decal set on it because I do not do not trust the adhesive for these old ass decals. That is a non-starter in my opinion. So I just poured some decal set in here, and we're going to, number one, let's make sure that the sizing of this is going to be good. Shit. Well, we'll put it on the other side. That's going to be a little too much for that side right there. So we will pop it on the other side here, like that, right? Now let's position this guy. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. All right, so now that since there's an abundance of decal set under this decal, I'm going to press down half of the decal first to get that set on the piece, so there's less of a chance of migration when I go to fully press down the decal like I'm doing right now, right? And that looks pretty good. Wipe it clean, and yeah, very good. Yep, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. All right, so with that being said, I still want to add just a little bit on the other side next to the frog, and I think that would be a really good place for like a 0.8, right? Christ, I did not know how to space decals back in the day. Like, it's bad, you guys. It's really bad. Like, look at these little numbers right here. There's hardly any space between these. There's maybe 1.5 millimeters between these. God damn it. There. I just basically cut out the entire number set, this small number set here, so that I can use that. We'll put that off to the side here. Let's see. Brandon says, night all, got to be up in 4.5 hours. Going to be a rough tomorrow. Brandon, thank you for watching, buddy. Good night. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up here in just a few minutes here. I want to get, like I said, I want to get the 0.8 on the back skirt real quick. And then we'll probably call it a night as well, because we're getting close to 2 hours. So let's get this. And we'll lightly score the film first, just like that. And then second pass, we cut all the way through. It's going to give you a nice crisp edge on that cut side, right? Do the same thing on the other side here. We want to try to get it as close as possible to the number, so there's very little film hanging over, which then means very little room for noticeable edges and stuff, right? You get it close, as close as you possibly can to the decal, then you'll be good. You'll be good. Let's see. Pab says, you all lost him, right? Just making sure it isn't me and it's his iffy connection again. Ah, shit. I mean, I'm still live here, Pabs. Might just be your shit connection. I don't know. Or it could be my shit connection because we already had one tonight. Wilson says 3D printed army. Come on. Dude, after the move, then maybe. But right now, I can't fuck up my financing, man. This is my future we're talking about. Like, a 3D printer ain't worth that. Hell no. Hell no. No, sir. Alright. There's the top of the 8. And then there's the bottom of the 8. Let's get these sides trimmed down just a little bit more. Just clean it up a bit. Okay. And then what I like to do is just kind of go in and cut the corners off of these. Since they're angular numbers, you can get away with that. The less hard corners that you have on decal film, the better. And less chance of them standing out or anything like that. So it's a process. All right. So there's the first number. There's 8, right? So now we need a 0 to go along with it. Easy 8 boy, 10-4 Pabs. I don't know. I mean, I'm still on. At least it says that I'm still on. And looking at the YouTube feed, it looks like it's still on. So if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's definitely not a Pabs. Alright, so let's get some zeros cut out here. And then we'll get to placing these and seeing how they look. Okay. So there's the 2 zeros in line with one another, and then we'll come in and start to trim these down. And these will look really, really nice once they're applied. There we go. All right, so there's the the top and the bottom. Now we need to get the 2 sides cut here. Just like that. And then, oh, come on you. Alright, and then cut the corners off, and then we can place. Okay. Woo! That was tedious. Pab says, "You came back, buddy." Yeah, well, I don't think it stopped, because my side on Streamlabs, when it does die, it says reconnecting, and it never. And the chat program that I use goes down to 0, and it didn't do that. Neither one did that. So I'm thinking that was on you, on your side, Pabs. Sorry. I'm pretty sure that was on your side. But I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. Could be totally wrong. Yeah. Easy 8 Boy says you stuck in a loop for a few minutes. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't watching YouTube actively, so that's very well possible. Very well possible. So. All right. So, let's get this guy in here. Let's get the decal set back in here because we're definitely going to need that. And then let's check the status of our numbers here, yeah? Let's see if these have released from the paper yet. Yep, good deal. Excellent. All right, so there's the 0. We're going to place that first. Slide that off the sheet, grab that with the tweezers. Little dip in the decal set. And then right at it. On the piece. Okay. Now I just wicked away a bunch of the excess decal set underneath this thing. Okay. Not too bad. It needs to come a little bit lower. I think I like that. Maybe just a little lower. Yeah, I like that better. All right, cool. So now, what we'll do, press that down first. Nice and neat. And now we'll place the number 8, right? Now, if you guys are wondering, like, why the number 8, right? Why? There's a good reason for that. For that, we're going to have to use the old school super zoom, and I'll explain why. And it has to do with this here, and one of the hidden little decals on sheet 3, right? So real quick, let's get old school super zoom engaged here. I don't want to dick around with the microscope right now because it's a little bit more work than it's worth until I have a bracket. But let's see, let's get that right there. And there you go. There's your explanation for why number 8 on this unit. LLYPD08 or LilyPad08. Yeah. LilyPad08, you guys. I just had a little fun with it. That is, the LilyPad08 decal is on sheet 3. You're going to have to look for it, but it's on there. It's very tiny. It's very, very tiny. I just had a little fun with it. So, yeah, that is specifically for the frog insignia. So, LilyPad08. That's it. So, that's why this is the 8th unit in this particular squad, team, what have you. So, yeah, it's fun. It's just fun. All right, let's get back to it. And like I said, I think we'll call it a night here in a few minutes. All right, so let's get the shoulder unit out of the way. Let's get that back in here, and then let's get the number 8 placed Slide that off the sheet. Dip that in decal set. And then place that right on there. Now, to get really fine placement, like I said, you want to wick away as much of the decal set as possible. And basically I just put my little makeup sponge right up next to the decal, and through capillary action it just sucks it right up. Okay, so man, that looks good. I love that look. That looks really nice. Just that offset, non-centered, you know, asymmetrical look. I don't know, there's something about it that I just really, really dig. Now, I want to make sure that the top and bottom corners are lined up, and you want to make sure that inside spacing is consistent too. But I think we're about as dead on as we're going to be able to get, and that looks really nice. So, in with the sponge. And there she is. Yeah. That's going to look really nice. That's going to look really, really nice. There's more decals to put on this thing. I want to put a little decal right up next to these two floating notches. Maybe just, maybe one long decal right here above these two notches. And then maybe one right on top here. And then I'm thinking just some little warning shapes along the side here. And what I mean by warning shapes is here's the side skirt, and these are just, little warning shapes that I included, I think, on sheet 2 or 3. Was it sheet 3? Oh, yeah, it was sheet 3 that I included those on. Yeah. And just, different little warning looking shapes. And, there's another little warning shape there, just, a cross-hatched stripe. And then these guys. And I think those are going to look really, really good on the side pieces here and everything. Because I decaled the back of the head, and you can kind of see those little warning shapes there. And then even just these very subtle boxes just along the sides there, I think look really, really nice. And then just this little warning decal for where the antenna goes. So very subtle, very simple, but I think it works. I think it works really, really well. So yeah, decals are coming along on this thing. I'm pretty happy with this so far. Is it my best work? No, not even close. But this is a practice build. Start to finish, this is a practice build. Once we get this thing done, once we get moved, then it's back off to the races. Now, I don't know if that means picking back up on GBWC or doing something different, but we're back in it. Full stop. We're back in it. Yeah. Yep. So, No William No says that looks great. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Easy 8 Boy says 8's great. Yes, it is. But also too, if you look, the reason why I picked the number 08, because if you look at it from this way, right, it kind of looks like a frog sticking its head out of the water. There are the two eyes, and there's a little body. That's why I picked 08. It's the designer in me. I can't help it. It is what it is. Anyway, Scuffle's with us. Hey, Scuffle. He says, this microscope is showing me the imperfections. Need to throw out any HD equipment and go back to low res for my own enjoyment. Okay, thanks. He says, is there a decal that says warranty voided if this panel is removed? There should be, right? There totally should be. But there's not currently. I'm sorry. Although, that one dude, Pablo, what's his name? Pablo in Japan? I don't know. He does those really cool videos, like day in the life of a manga artist and stuff like that. He just released a video of the 1-to-1 scale Gundam in at the factory, the new factory. I think, what is it, in Yokohama? I think. I forget. But anyway, his video was great resource material because he got Paolo. Thank you, Pabs. Paolo. I didn't think it was Pablo, but I knew it was something like that. Paolo. Yeah. Scuffle says, LOL, I thought you were calling Chris Pabs Pablo. That would have been funny, right? But no, so Paolo from Tokyo, he just released a video of the Gundam docks, right? And I think it's in Yokohama, right? I don't know. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. I don't care. But it was great resource material because he got super up close shots and everything. And I'm sitting there looking at his video and I'm like, pause, screen cap, pause, screen cap, pause, screen cap. Like great source material and stuff like that. Not that I'm going to direct rip those decals, just because they're not necessarily my style. But just some of like the wording and meanings and stuff like that were great inspiration. And some of the compositions that were there was great inspiration too. So I've got those saved. I think I took like 25 screenshots of the different parts of the Gundam and everything. So yeah, it was pretty cool. So I can't help it. It's the designer in me. I literally cannot help myself. It just is what it is. Anyway. All right, you guys. That's going to do it for us tonight. We are going to be back here on Friday for another fun episode of Mechanism. Now, if you missed the top of the show, there's no stream next Monday because I have to travel for work beginning of next week. Wednesday is tentatively on right now, but that could change. That could very well change based on my itinerary and everything. Right now, I'm locked in to do a video shoot in Tucson, Arizona on Monday, but then tentatively I'm going to be in Austin on Tuesday and then fly home later that night. So hopefully that works out. We'll see. But as of right now, Monday's definitely not going to happen. And Wednesday is still kind of a maybe. But the big thing to remember next week is next week, that's it. You will never see this studio again after next week. Because that's the last week we stream in the studio. The next time we stream, we'll be in the new studio. And I'm excited for it. Yeah. I'm stupid excited for it. I can't wait. 2 weeks from today, we move into the new place. 2 weeks. Yeah. I get to set everything up the way that I want it. I have a bigger studio than this in the new place. I can do whatever I want to the walls and the lights. All of it. Can't wait. And it's going to be mine. Mine. All mine. Own it. Lock, stock, and barrel. It's going to be great. I can't wait. Can't wait. Anyway. But yeah, so basically, Mechanism, Wednesday stream, Friday stream of next week. That's it. That's all you'll ever see. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about it. Daunting is the way that I think about it. But still, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really, really good. So anyway, all right, you guys, that's gonna do it for us. So let's take care of the business and let's get out of here, yeah? If you are interested in any of the tools and materials that we work with here on a nightly basis, like the micro set and micro saw, you can find all that fun stuff in the Amazon link below in the description. A lot of cool stuff in there, tools and materials that we work with, books for inspiration, gear for photography and streaming, and then also the newest category, the storage solutions and stuff like that. Good stuff in there. So definitely use that link. Go pick up some stuff. I do get a bit of a commission based on the stuff that you buy, but it does not increase the cost for you. It just helps out what we do here. Aside from that, if you want to cop one of these Heat Hawk shirts, man, go hit up www.shotofmecca.com. Hit the store button up at the top. You will find this shirt and many more in there, as well as hats and prints of my work. So go load up. And then also, too, if you really want to show your support for what we do here, go hit up the Chata Mecca Patreon. Once we get moved, that's going to be probably my top priority in terms of content creation and stuff like that, because it's very, very hard to keep focused on creating content outside of the streams, like whips and all that shit. It's just like, there's no time for it. There literally is no time for it. But that's going to be number one priority once we get moved. So if you have the ability and if you have the inclination, go check that out. It would mean a lot to me. Aside from that, if you're interested in kits, tools, paints, accessories, Mecca Decals. Go check out our good friends right down here, USA Gundam Store. Adam and the fine folks down there will definitely have what you need. So, with that being said, come on back here for Mechanism on Friday, and then I'll see you guys hopefully next Wednesday. I'll keep you all in the loop on that. Check the social medias and stuff like that in the meantime. So we'll have final confirmation sometime next week. So, with that being said, you guys, man, have a wonderful weekend if you don't tune in for Mechanism. And if you do, I will see you then. But have a great Thursday, and be safe out there, guys. Build something cool. All right? See you guys.